on the Horned Frogs Sports Network from Learfield IMG College.
To the 5, touchdown TCU.
Welcome to the Gary Patterson Show, presented by BBVA and by Toyota. Enter for a chance to win Toyota's Tailgate to Go sweepstakes. Visit ToyotaTailgateToGo.com today. Now, here's the voice of the Frogs, Brian Estridge.
It's another Thursday night. That means another Gary Patterson show here as the Horned Frogs turn their attention to the Texas Tech Red Raiders for the next hour. We're going to talk a little TCU football with a head coach, Gary Patterson, alongside. Good to see his face here, zooming with us from the football office there at TCU. Hey, Coach, you said something this week in your media conference that I haven't been able to set aside. And I thought, you know what, that's a good perspective, and that was, hey, listen, we're real fortunate to be playing football. We had great leadership from the Big 12 and our athletic director, and that's a way we got to look at this thing, right? We're fortunate to be playing football right now.
Well, you just look. I'm just reading, and I don't know what the real story is about Cal football.
Yeah,
you know, here it is. They had one positive, and they did, from what they said, they did everything that the city asked them to do, and they traced them, and the whole position group, all the coaches are out, so they're not going to play. And you know, we had stringent restrictions also, but I mean, we really had people had used a lot of common sense. Why we're playing on our 6th ball game. So very fortunate, everybody that was involved from the city to the state on a national level, and say that we got an opportunity to get to game 6 here. So we're fired up.
Yeah, and as you said, it feels like it's been one game a month. You've been going at it for 5 months, but hey, at least we're getting the one game a month in, right?
I'm not even going to tell you where the practice count is. I mean, it's like, I tell you, it's when you think about, we just went through, before we even played one ball game, we went through 5 game plans.
Yeah.
Let alone getting ready for the season. You know, I'm talking about where you didn't practice against each other. You just kind of, you know, mentally it doesn't drain you. I mean, you actually focused in and told them, here's what we're going to do, how we're going to do it, this is how we're going to do it. And then, no, by the way, we're not going to play. And then, hey, rally back up, let's do this again, and let's get ready to go. And we did that. Finally, the 5th time was Iowa State. And so here we go.
Could you imagine if we were back in the Mountain West when you used to work on Air Force for a little bit of time every week? How many times you would have worked on Air Force leading into the season?
Well, we still work on Air Force during 2 days. I'm not losing that knowledge. I mean, I'm telling you.
You have to do it. You got to keep it. You know, you think about that too, Coach. Chris Kleiman, the head coach of Kansas State, referenced that this week on the conference call, where the amount of time that the Big 12 has had this year in preparation, he thinks pays off in future years for these young players. Do you buy that? You think so?
Yeah, I think our team's grown up quite a bit.
Mm-hmm.
You know, I obviously 2-3 right now, but I think that the younger players are starting to gather themselves as far as maturity level of understanding how to practice better, what's going on. I mean, you're talking about we only have 89 seniors, and you know, a lot of our backups are all redshirt freshmen. All the D tackles are not over, you know, besides Coop
mm-hmm.
and George Ellis, because with Corey out, everybody else is a freshman. You know, the defensive ends, a lot of them are first-year guys. You know, Dylan Horton is a first-year transfer. Kyrie Coleman's playing like he is as a true freshman.
Right.
You know, you just look at last year, D. Winters was a true freshman, and how he's grown up, how he's playing so much differently than he did a year ago. Yeah, but you know, you just go down the list. I mean, it keeps going.
It's a roster, especially on the defensive side, that's just loaded with freshmen. I mean, you look at our Darius Washington and Keon Stewart. These are sophomores. Trey Hodges-Tomlinson. These are sophomores. O'Shawn Mathis. I mean, it's everywhere you look on this roster. It's that way.
Well, yeah, and a lot of they're redshirt freshmen, really.
Yeah.
Because of the way they count the year. And so, yeah, and if you look at a guy like Quentin Johnston and Savion Williams and some, you know, all those running backs, all of them are 4 out of the 5 of them are redshirt freshmen or freshmen. And, you know, how far we've come in a season. You know, you were able to bring a Michael Downing along and where he got to where he can run a football team as the backup, you know, in the way he plays the game. So it's, yeah, there's a ton of guys. There's a ton of guys that have they've got a lot of experience, So
you kind of hinted last week that there were going to be some new guys on that defensive front that we would see. Earl Barquette got in there. Patrick Jenkins got in there. They both made plays. These are young, big specimens along that defensive line, Coach, that I thought really might have been the turning point in that game.
Well, I'm not ready to raise the flag yet for them, but right. I thought it's for us to be able to rotate like we were as fast as even this week Texas Tech is going to go, and that they can run our defense and do the things we need to do. That's a big deal, and so we got a lot of work to do, but it's we're excited about the opportunity, and I said it's there's times really where the best part of my day is the 2 hours on the field. Mm-hmm. During practice, because you're not everything else that's going on and what you're dealing with it on and off the field, everything is going on. And so, that's been the relationship with all those guys has been fantastic of how to do it. We've got guys that hurt, I think going as long as what it's all gone, I think it's hurt a little bit injury wise. But I think guys have grown up and become better, younger players are playing better. You got some guys that have opted or, competition, you name it, whatever it is. But, I can't blame anybody. It's a different climate right now. How, from a perspective of, it's really hard to enjoy. You do all this work. You used to have those full stadiums, like I've told you before, right. And all that energy, and that's why you do it. And, you really you come down to deciding whether you really like football or not. I think that's one of the things that as a coach and as a player, just, how badly do you love to play the game? Because it's a tough deal when it comes to some of that. So, but it's in some ways our kids also it's kind of been cool. I think in some ways it's helped them with the mental aspect of everything going on because it's kept normalcy to it. Mm-hmm. I mean, there's some things that are, they're able to go to practice, they're able to exercise, they're able to take their mind off what's going on in the world and just play football. I mean, those kind of things I think are positives.
Yeah, and in this semi-bubble that they're in, they've bonded. You can see that with this team, that it's a tight team. The other thing that you saw on the road at Baylor, Coach, was energy in that first half. All three phases of the game contributed, and I thought they kind of fed off of each other in that game. Yeah,
we talked about we had to get back to being a tribe. Mm-hmm. A tribe, there's a team and you do it, but a tribe, everything that they do so the betterment of everybody. Hmm. And, if you listen to, guys in the Marines and some of them, they talk about how you can be good and then you can be good, then you can be great, and then you can be a tribe. When you become a tribe, you all row together. You don't even have to think about it. You know exactly what everybody else is doing. Mm-hmm. And that's the good teams that get where everybody's on the same page doing all that above. So,
hey, by the way, one guy I want to point out that we've talked about a lot of guys this week, but I thought Nook Bradford on Saturday against Baylor. There's another sophomore. Now that you think about it, another sophomore that continues to grow up for you back there.
He had a really good game in the Oklahoma game last year.
Yep.
And he's really starting to catch on. Him and LaKendrick at the strong safety position, giving us really a 1-2 punch. Guys that are really athletic that can go make plays and do it. And the surprising thing for his side is how physical Nook is.
Yeah.
It's really, he's the guy that hit that on the one running back, making sure tackles, doing all that. I mean, those kind of players are invaluable.
Yeah, guy that contributed not only on defense but on special teams. There's a bunch of guys like that on this roster. We're going to talk about the success of the special teams coming up. It's the Gary Patterson Show here on the Thursday night. We're brought to you in part by Taylor's Rental. They've been serving the North Texas area for more than 50 years. No signs of slowing down anytime soon. Check out their website, taylors.rentals, so you'll get an idea of their lineup and how deep it goes. Taylors.rentals. More with the head coach of the Horned Frogs live here on the Thursday night. It's the Gary Patterson Show. Back after this from the Cy-Fit Center.
There's nothing better than Texas barbecue and ice-cold beer. Football season's here, which means more opportunities to eat and drink. The professionals at Cy-Fit Center help you find balance between healthy choices and enjoying indulgences. It's not your typical overly restrictive diet. That's what makes it sustainable. This is science-based weight loss that starts with a free consultation. Then it's a customized system using professionally formulated programs along with a fit 3D body scanner to monitor progress and visualize your transformation. Learn more at SciFitCenter.com.
When it comes to your health, Texas Health is right there with you. So if you break it, tear it, pull it, bring it to Texas Health Sports Medicine, official sports medicine provider of TCU Athletics. Check out the full team of therapists, dietitians, and sports medicine physicians on the medical staff of Texas Health Hospitals at texashealth.org/sportsmedicine. Go Frogs!
Tom Thumb and Albertson shoppers. Start saving today with Just For You. Download our app today and get personalized deals and rewards. Earn points every time you shop. Then redeem for free groceries or up to $1 per gallon in gas rewards at Tom Thumb stations or up to 20 cents per gallon at participating Chevron and Texaco stations. Sign up today by downloading the Tom Thumb or Albertsons app or visit TomThumb.com or Albertsons.com. See customer service for details.
You're the biggest TCU fan. You've got an authentic jersey, custom cornhole set, and a coffee mug that says TCU's #1 fan. And when you take to the streets, you do it with a Horned Frogs face mask. So of course, you have the official TCU toll tag. It's a little piece of purple and white that keeps your fandom in sight while giving you big savings on toll roads and Texpress lanes. Getting your official TCU toll tag was easy too. You just visited TCUtolltag.com and for $19.99, it was yours. Because the biggest fans show their love everywhere they can.
Let me tell you a thing or two about the people who don't compromise. They love Pepsi Zero Sugar. Why? Because it's got all the flavor and zero the sugar. How's that for not compromising? They're the sort of person that likes surf with their turf. And a drink with their feast? Yeah, they have a Pepsi Zero Sugar. The person who doesn't compromise loves a good golden doodle. All the golden retriever goodness with just a hint of doodle. And when they're bringing said golden doodle for a walk, they bring a Pepsi Zero Sugar. Zero sugar, done right. That's what I like.
Hey everybody, it's time for today's STEM tip. Want to know how to make your selfies even better? Okay, let's use science. The best time for photos is golden hour. That's the moment right before the sun sets, when the atmosphere scatters blue and violet wavelengths, making perfect, soft, and golden selfie light to show off that beautiful face of yours. Click. Check out Chic and STEM for more inspiration. A message from the Ad Council.
Jill, why don't you tell the class what you did this weekend?
Well, my dad and I went in search of some magical minnows and found a zillion of them in the stream from our lookout rock. Then my sister and I escaped from an evil slug king and went back to my super twig fort for safety. Then we told stories till it got dark, and the Big Dipper led us all the way home.
Whoa. Where were you, Jill?
We went to the forest. It's not that far away.
Ask your parents to take you and your friends to the forest this week. It's closer than you think. Check out discovertheforest.org. Brought to you by the U.S. Forest Service and the Ad Council.
Papa, why can't we telegraph while riding a horse?
Son, there ain't no one to blame but Jeffro. He was riding old Betsy the Stallion, tip-tapping away at his telegraph, when blam! Ran right into the side of the saloon.
Well, if Jeffro can't do it, neither should you. Don't text and drive.
Visit StopTextStopWrecks.org. A message brought to you by the National Highway Traffic Safety Administration, Project Yellow Light, and the Ad Council.
Adopt US Kids presents What to Expect When You're Expecting a Teenager. Learning the lingo.
GOAT, G-O-A-T, acronym, stands for Greatest of All Time. As in, spaghetti sandwiches for dinner? They're my fave. Dad, you're the GOAT.
You don't have to speak teen to be a perfect parent. Thousands of teens in foster care will love you just the same. Visit adoptuskids.org. Brought to you by the U.S. Department of Health and Human Services, Adopt U.S. Kids, and the Ad Council.
It's time for this week's highlight reel.
Here, handoff comes to Barlow. Barlow trying to bounce it outside left. He'll sprint to the corner and score. Darwin Barlow with the first score of the game. Hit the horn here as TCU takes a 6-0 lead. Another good one here. Darius Davis at the 34. Return to the left-hand side. He's got a blocker. 40, 45 across midfield. Here goes Darius. Down to the 40, down to the 30, down to the 20, down to the 10. Counted for double D. It is a TD. Reverse comes to Tay Barber. Blocker in front as he takes it to the 10, to the 5. Barber will score. Tay Barber takes it to the house from 14 yards out. As the H back to the left. They're going to run behind him with Evans up the middle. 25, 20, down to the 15, to the 10, to the 5. The freshman scores. Hit the horn. It's a 30-yard scamper. Brewer play clock's at 7. Snap comes back. 3 receivers to the left. Brewer over the middle. Fired it out. Knocked away by Trey Merritt. What a play. As as the Horned Frogs come out victorious. 33-23, the final score.
Now it's time for the X's and O's with Coach Gary Patterson, presented by the Bank of Texas. Here's Brian Estridge.
We continue on the Thursday night edition of the Gary Patterson Show. You heard those highlights there. One of the things that stood out to me, Coach, was how many people are getting involved, whether it be on defense, making plays, how many guys on offense. You think about last Saturday, you had Darwin Barlow, you had Tay Barber get involved, you had Zach Evans get involved, Max Duggins involved. I mean, that's a good balanced attack when you start to see a lot of names or hear a lot of names that are getting touches and are having some success as well.
Well, that's why kids get excited, and you gather energy when everybody gets a chance to have success. Everybody wants to be a good player. They want a chance to be able to show off and do their thing. And so, especially young players, when they haven't learned yet, that hasn't come, but sometimes they try a little bit too hard. We're kind of getting where the game's slowing down a little bit. The game slows down a little bit, then we move faster, and you're moving the right direction. And so, it's we're getting closer and closer to that. In a 2-deep early in the season, I would not have said that about our backup safeties and corners and in our linebackers, but we're all getting, the ends are getting where they, you understand? I mean, really, the whole group's, growing up. Now it's, we got Saturday, we're going to find out you'll get your next test.
Yeah.
I think Texas Tech is a good football team. They do, and they come after you both sides. They're very physical. And so, you got to know that, they took Texas to overtime. They beat West Virginia. So you can't really look at the Oklahoma game last week. I think you'll go back to our ball game and see how we were within a one-score game and find out how well that we did play in the game and still had blunders.
Yeah.
But if we wouldn't have had how we could have did things. And so, I think, Oklahoma's getting on a roll. So I think reality is somewhere in between. But, you got to find a way to win by 1 point. That's what our job is, playing at home. And, we need to win one of those one-score games.
Yeah,
it's time for us to win one of them.
And this has been a strange series in that the road team in the last, I think, 5 years has been successful.
Yeah, I don't get that either.
Yeah.
So I think we won 2014 at home. And I think I don't know which year it was that they won at home. After that, we won it there in 15. 16, did they win here?
16 they won 27-24.
We came back and won there in 17, 18. It was a real close ball game, a night ball game, wasn't it?
Yep. I think 14 was the last. You won back-to-back 14 and 15. And they won back-to-back 12 and 13. And
Gotcha.
But since then, the road team has won. It has been a little bit strange. You got a 100-yard rusher last week. Darwin Barlow goes for over 100 yards. And I thought the offensive line continues to kind of gel up front.
Well, like I told you last week in this deal, that I thought they had a really good Tuesday. Now, we didn't do a middle drill against Good on Good this week because of the physicalness. And then we had to come back and have a Monday night practice instead of Tuesday, less rest. And I just, we're far enough in the season where we felt like we didn't need to do that. We'll start back again next week. But, I thought that they had a point of contention about what they were trying to get done on Tuesday when we went good on good. And I thought that carried forward Saturday. I thought we kind of went into lull. We just got to get to where we play. We got to play 4 quarters, both sides of the ball. I think defensively, I've been talking to you about our fourth quarter. I think we went into the fourth quarter with they only had like 20, 30 yards of total offense, and they end up with 260, 270. We've got to finish. I was telling you that I didn't think we were finishing practices. I've been tarping about it, and that's kind of usually you play like you practice. And so we've got to, we're doing a better job of that now. And we did find a way to get some stops. We got 2 fourth down stops, and so, we're making progress, but, we just need to keep going.
T.J. Storm met with the media on Tuesday. What a wonderful addition he's been, the transfer from Colorado State. And he talked about that group starting to blend together. And he said, we got great leadership from our older guys, but we got young guys that are really talented. And he said, the one thing we know is we still have room for improvement. You got to like that attitude that they still want to keep getting better.
Well, we've had a lot of pride. We've got a lot of NFL linemen.
Yeah.
We've had some really good offensive lines. In the last 2 years, last year we gave up the most probably sacks we've had since I've been here. And then, we started the season off the same way. And I think it had to become important to them that didn't happen. So, we're sitting in a situation where we need to keep getting better. If we keep getting better, we're gonna score more points. We're gonna be more successful on offense. And Max is gonna feel like him and Dan are gonna feel like they have more time, and that makes them better throwers. And I mean, it all works together.
We talked last week about when you have success and you're able to be at a place for a long time and to be in this career for a long time, the tree starts to expand a little bit. Matt Wells talked about that this week. He was a player at Utah State, right, when you were an assistant coach. I want to make sure I get this right.
That's correct.
Yeah, and he talked about how hard you worked then, and he said, so I just know he's outworking me this week. He joked about that, but that's again, that goes back to, Coach, the success that you've had, and you've seen Matt Wells grow up in this profession now.
Yeah, he was a successful head coach at Utah State, and he was a lot of different places. One of the positives is you've been somewhere, and got things in place. But one of the negatives is there's a lot of people that have coached with you, for you, and have been around. And so they know a lot of information on you as far as, signals, all those areas. So we've, it's continually, I think sometimes it hurts our kids a little bit. We always have to change signals, but people that have lived inside our office, they know how we do things. And so that's a little bit of a concern every year when it comes to these couple of these ball games.
Texas Tech, the opponent, they're 2-4 on the season, Coach, and it's an offense that seems as if they're starting to find their way a little bit with a new quarterback in there in the last couple of games. And I guess maybe multidimensional would be how you would refer to him.
Well, he was he's further advanced because he was at Utah State, so he ran their system there, and so we brought him here. In some ways, he's probably more advanced than the quarterback that they have here as far as the amount of years that he's played it. And it's very obvious that he feels very comfortable in the system. And so, you have to find a way because, they throw the ball very well. Somebody was getting on me earlier at the press conference on Tuesday because I said you had to stop the run. And they're like on me like, you see what their running yardage was and you see what they're throwing. Have you lost your mind? It's, well, running to us is all the hitch screens and jailbreak screens and bubble screens. Those are all run plays. All that you got to be able to play the run when all those things come down because that's how they keep the chains moving. And then obviously you can't let them throw it over your head. That's the other goal to doing all this stuff. But you've got to be able to do all the rest of that. If you want to be successful.
Yeah, they're like long handoffs, and they've had success on the ground, too, with some plays that, almost like broken plays. When pass protection is broken down, they've had success. Big plays come that way. Just like every team in the Big 12, Coach, talented receivers, big offensive line, right?
Oh, yeah, talented receivers, talented quarterback, talented running backs. And they always have some skilled players that can run. Everybody's trying to be physical. I mean, it never stops.
Yeah.
But that's okay. We wouldn't want it any different. So.
And then defensively, they've kind of gone back, as folks were saying, that they're just trying to play good, solid, fundamental base defense at this point, right?
Yeah, won't be surprised if they try to heat us up tomorrow. On Saturday. Make us play. They really heated us up more last year than any other team that we played, and so sitting here. Getting ready for the same thing.
All right, finally, special teams. Last week, Coach, you challenged your special teams. You thought you could make something happen in the return game. You got the return from Darius Davis. Feels like it against Texas Tech. Special teams always come into play. Jonathan Song was huge last year in this one.
Yeah, it's you always, anytime you're going to stay within a 10-point ball game, special teams, just field position. You look at the difference between Baylor and Texas. In both those ball games, we won the field position as far as where they had to start and where we had to start our field position. And then you look at a game like Kansas State, where I think we started like on the 23 or 24-yard line, and their average starting point was like the 40. And so those kind of things play a big part, and a little bit has to do with punting, returns, and all those kind of things. And so, it's if you're going to win, you got to find a way to make up the difference between those 7 and 10 points of doing things. And so, who's going to make the key play? As we talk about, when you get to these guys grow up, they become dogs. It's all everybody. You run like a pack, and you become a tribe, and you get ready to go.
Yeah, learn to hunt together, as you said, Coach. What are you telling your team now, finally, as far as keys on Saturday? What do you want to see out of your group?
Well, number one, we have to fight adversity. There's going to be in this ball game. There's going to be some. There always is in the Tech game. How do we fight through? You got to don't hurt yourself again. We got to keep improving on that offensively, and in the red zone, we got to score. They can score very well. For us, defensively, again, you go back to stopping the run, but you can't let the ball get over your head. And takeaways is the best way. We got a couple of those last year against those guys. And so you got to still be able to do that. That's the best defense I know, standing on the sidelines.
All right, Coach. Best of luck on Saturday. Look forward to seeing you out there. Thanks for hopping on with us here tonight.
Pleasure. Go Frogs.
All right, there he goes, the head coach of the Horned Frogs. His team set to take on Texas Tech at 2:30 on Saturday at Amon Carter Stadium. We'll have more, including Griffin Kale, the kicker of the Horned Frogs. He'll join us next when we continue after this timeout and a word from the Emergency Center.
When an emergency strikes, you shouldn't have to spend hours in an ER waiting room. At the Emergency Center, you'll be seen immediately, 24 hours a day, 7 days a week. Honoring most private insurances, the Emergency Center team is ready to provide you an unparalleled patient experience. And when it's time to leave the ER, they can give you up to 72 hours of medication so you can skip the pharmacy on your way home. Learn more at theemergencycenter.com.
Hi, this is Jan. Thanks for calling Toyota.
I heard Toyotathon is on.
We've got great year-end deals on Camry, RAV4, Tundra, Highlander, and more. Do you hear that?
Yep, that's my mom. I'm home for the holidays, and she likes eavesdropping on my calls like she used to.
What was that again about year-end deals?
Mom.
Oh, I'm sorry, honey.
Toyotathon is on now. Come in today.
Current offers end November 30th. Toyotathon ends January 4th. Toyota. Let's go places.
What does optimism look like? It looks like going for it on 4th and 5. Yeah, you could punt, but you don't practice trick plays to never use them. There's a feeling in the air. You've got the defense right where you want them. Special teams can wait. They'll get to kick the extra point in a few. Betting on yourself looks crazy sometimes, but it isn't. It's just different. And sometimes that's just the difference you need. Frost, the official bank of relentless optimism and proud partner of TCU Athletics.
Orange Theory is a science-backed, technology-tracked, coach-inspired group workout. Our classes are designed to spike metabolism, boost energy, and burn up to 500 calories in 1 hour. We make it simple for you to push yourself, be your personal best, and give you more. More results, more confidence, more life. 33 DFW locations, including Montgomery Plaza, Southwest Fort Worth, Camp Bowie, North Arlington, and Arlington Highlands. Visit OrangeTheoryFitness.com to sign up for your free introduction class today. Restrictions may apply.
Hi, this is John Denton with Bill Shattuck and Jeff Patman of Capital Title, the largest independent title company in the nation with 100 offices, 35 right here in Dallas-Fort Worth. Bill, Capital Title's on the move.
Just like Coach Patterson's defense, we're coming.
Frog fans, this is TCU alum Jeff Patman. Come see Joanna Cloud at our newest commercial office at Bank of America Tower in downtown Fort Worth.
Horned Frogs, how long has it been since you closed the deal at your friendly Capital Title office? Well, that's too long.
Capital Title, Texas friendly.
Bring a game day party treat to your celebration from Cinnaholic Fort Worth. As seen on Shark Tank, enjoy these hot and fresh create-your-own cinnamon rolls by selecting from over 20 frostings and toppings. Try a signature roll such as the Horned Frog, the Stockyard, and Cookie Monster. Be the MVP of the party with Cinnaholic's custom 6-pack cinnamon rolls, brownies, and chocolate chip cookies. Order online or visit us on Crockett Row at West 7th. Mention the TCU game final score and receive a buy one, get one free old school roll. Cinnaholic Fort Worth. Game on!
My Shiro doesn't always wear a cape, but she always has time for a hug, a smile, for going the extra mile. My Shiro stretches every dollar, puts in long hours, puts others first. But now it's your time, Mom. When you're ready to retire, we want you to be able to enjoy it. Get free tips to help boost your retirement savings now at aceyourretirement.org/Shiro.
A public service announcement brought to you by AARP and the Ad Council.
First, I hold my hands out like they're on a steering wheel. Then I look over my shoulder. 1, okay, cool guy. 2, 3 times. Next, oh, I put it in reverse. Meep, meep, meep. Then I take it up and down, up and down. And that, kiddos, is called the forklift.
Dance like a dad.
It's a great way to make a moment with your kids.
Now that's dancing. Sure beats flossing.
Visit fatherhood.gov. Brought to you by the U.S. Department of Health and Human Services and the Ad Council.
Tom has been a teacher for over 40 years. One day, I think one of the students had asked the question and he didn't remember the answer. And I also noticed that he was letting his class out earlier than they were supposed to let out. I was really starting to worry.
Levi and I talked about how it would change our lives, but he was there beside me.
When something feels different, it could be Alzheimer's. Now is the time to talk. Visit alz.org/ourstories to learn more. A message from the Alzheimer's Association and the Ad Council.
America, your children have an amazing superpower. That's right. They can help save lives by simply washing their hands. Just 20 seconds of thorough hand washing after they've coughed or sneezed or been outside can help fight against the dastardly spread of germs. Armed with only soap and water and hands, your superhero can protect you, your family, and everyone out there in America land. Amazing! Find out more at coronavirus.gov. A message from the CDC and the Ad Council.
A Shiro's work is never done. You care for the house, the kids, and our future. We're so grateful for all you do. Now, it's time to care for yourself and save a little more for retirement. A free 3-minute online chat can give you the personalized tips you need to boost your retirement savings now. Visit aceyourretirement.org/Shiro today.
A public service announcement brought to you by AARP and the Ad Council.
Back live, it's a Gary Patterson show here on the Thursday night. Tonight's show brought to you in part by the SciFit Center. Weight loss and nutrition can be confusing. That's why the professionals at SciFit Center are there to help. By integrating body composition scanning, food sensitivity, metabolism, and DNA testing, they find what works best for you. Learn more at SciFitCenter.com. We're joined now on the show here by the Frogs kicker. That's right. Griffin Kale joins us right now. Kind enough to carve out some time for us. Griffin, good to see your face, man. Thanks for hopping on with us.
Yes, sir, for sure.
Out of Arlington, obviously, so you were you kind of stayed close to home. You were a Colt, we know that, at Arlington High. When you decided to come to TCU, what was it that stood out for you? What kind of made the difference?
I mean, my family comes from, they kind of all went to TCU, so that was kind of a big thing. If I could get any kind of opportunity to kick at TCU, I would definitely jump on that opportunity. So
yeah, I knew they're all Frog fans, aren't they?
Yes, sir.
Yeah. Did you grow up coming to the games at Amon Carter Stadium?
Yep. I was at the old stadium. I was actually talking to Coach Buchanan or whatever. And I was talking to him. I was like, dang, I remember all the players you played with. And he's like, dang, you must have been you're 4 or 5 years old, and you know all these players. Like, yeah, I used to come to the games. It's cool to talk about that with him.
So now when you come running out of the tunnel and realize that you're in that same stadium where you used to go as a kid, I mean, what's that feeling like for you?
It's awesome. I mean, I used to sit up in the stands and watch it. I was a bleacher creature, you know, right. And actually coming out, every time I come out, I'm dragging my hand along, in the tunnel. It's dang, I used to dream about this. I wish I could do that as a kid, and now I'm finally being able to do it. So it's amazing. Yeah. When
you finally got the offer to come to TCU, was there any hesitation? Was there any doubt? I mean, was that a quick, hey, I'm coming?
I talked to my family, and I talked to the former TCU kicker, Jay Novachrome, about it.
Right.
A lot, prayed about it, and I was I think it's going to make me the happiest. I felt like I needed to make that decision because it was a great opportunity I had. So I probably, 2 or 3 weeks, and then I made a decision.
Good for you, man. Jaden Obercrom, you mentioned him earlier. I know he's been a mentor to you. Terrific career here at TCU. What was that like studying under him, watching him work, and what were some of the things that you walked away from with him?
I mean, he's always there for me. I can always call him. He the first time I met him, he was out there kicking, and he right away was giving me tips. This was before he even opened up his own kicking academy, but the second I met him, he was helping me out. So when he opened up his academy, I kind of was just this is who I want to be like. This dude's an awesome, fantastic kicker, and I just want to be like him.
Any funny stories working under him? Anything stand out? Anything that he said or did or anything like that?
So he's a big fisherman, and so am I. So we went and fished. I think this was last spring, and I was driving his boat, like just going back to the ramp, and I took off. We were probably going 35, 40 miles an hour, and I put my foot off the gas to slow down, and there's a Dr. Pepper bottle that was lodged in the gas pedal.
Oh no!
So we start panicking, and he looks under there, and he sees it, and he pulls it out, and that might have been the scariest moment of my life because we were getting so close to hitting the shore, and
I've seen that's a big. Is it purple? Is his boat purple?
Yeah, he just got it wrapped the other day. I think about a month ago.
Yeah,
it says Overcome Kicking on it.
Yeah, I like that, man. So that's awesome. You're also tight with former kicker Jonathan Song. Coach Patterson and I were talking about him. He had a big game last year against Texas Tech. I think made 4 field goals in that game, as a matter of fact. What did you learn from Jonathan, who had a great career here?
He taught me a lot. Like being with him in the games, and like when I would do the long field goals, he would help me before I went out there, and like. Even at practice, like when I had a bad day, he was like, dude, forget about it. You got tomorrow. Like he was great. He was a great mentor as well. So, yeah.
Griffin Kale's with us right now, the Frog kicker, the sophomore out of Arlington. Late in game, big kicks. How do you prepare yourself mentally for those situations?
I mean, you kind of just look at, like, it kind of all comes back, like from practicing this, I've kicked so many kicks. And you go out there for just one kick, it's like you've done this a million times. Like all you gotta do is relax, hit your same kick you always kick, and like mentally take a deep breath, just go back to the basics, keep your eyes down, and just hit it.
Are there things about the game of football that you like that people would smile about that they wouldn't know? Like, obviously they think, oh, he likes to kick. That's what he does. But, I mean, are there other parts of the game that you're involved in that you also really enjoy?
Yeah, I like kickoffs. Like I like hitting out of the end zone, and because it helps off the kickoff team when I hit out of the end zone, because they don't have to, it kind of gives them a break. They still have to run down.
Sure.
They don't really have to make a play.
Yeah.
So I mean that I like seeing when like Max comes off the field and he's like, dang, like they didn't score, and then I make a field goal. It's like kind of it helps him out, and I like to see that.
I dig that. So hey, what are you majoring in right now at TCU? Have you decided that?
Criminal justice.
Yeah, and then once football's over, and let's hope football goes for a while for you, do you have a plan for what you'd like to do? Do you know what you may want to do as a career?
I'm not sure right now. Like I did criminal justice because I think I love the outdoors, and I think being a game warden would be kind of cool. So, and then I don't know. My dad and my family have a dry cleaning business in Fort Worth.
Yep, I know all
Twin
about it.
Kill Cleaners, and so I might work with my dad a little bit and see if I like that or not.
Do you watch the Game Warden show on what's it called? Lone Star Law? Have you seen that show on television?
I think my mom does, and sometimes when I used to go to her room, I could see it. I'd watch it because you'd watch it.
Yeah, you need to watch that Lone Star Law, and all it does is just track game wardens, real game wardens, in the state of Texas. So yeah, you ought to check that out if you're thinking about that a career. How do you said you like to fish? Are there any other hobbies, man? How you spend your time?
Over quarantine, me and some of the specialist guys like Jordy, we go golf. That's what we kind of got into.
Jaden's a big golfer too, right? Overcrome, didn't he?
Yeah, he's a big golfer too.
Yeah. So
I just went golf with him Tuesday because we had off.
So what you got the handicap down to right now?
I don't even. I just got into it, and I kind of grew up around it as a kid, but I literally, I don't have a handicap right now, or, I don't kind of really know what it is. But I shoot in the low 90s.
Oh, that's pretty good, man. Hey, if you're in double digits, you'll take that, right? You just don't want to be in, you just want to avoid triple digits. That's it.
Yeah.
All right, Texas Tech coming up.
And as long as I beat Jaden and Jordy, I'm fine.
Yeah, that's all you got to do, man. Griffin Kale, thanks for hopping on with us. Let's look forward to the rest of the year. I know Texas Tech coming to town. Got to get a good home win, too. Got to defend the Carter this week, right?
Yes, sir, absolutely.
All right, thanks for hopping on with us. Griffin Kale, the sophomore from Arlington, joining us here tonight on the Gary Patterson Show. Andrew Ward, former linebacker for the Frogs, joins us next. It's our Where Are They Now? And it happens after this timeout and a word from BMW.
For the last 3 years, BMW has helped provide 4.3 million meals to Feeding America.
With this year's program alone, we hope to reach 2 million and further build connections with the local food banks in your community. So right now, during BMW's Drive to End Hunger test drive event, November 17th through the 21st, your test drive will help provide 200 meals to Feeding America, and you'll receive $1,000 toward a new BMW. Visit your local BMW center for details.
Indulge in your deep fried cravings at Fat Shack, where they put all of your favorite appetizers on one sandwich. That's right, one delicious sandwich filled with chicken fingers, French fries, mozzarella sticks, and onion rings, topped with your choice of one of their house-made sauces. Check out their weekly specials with juicy burger lunch combos, deep fried dessert platters, and half-price wings on Sundays. Open till 1 a.m. or later. Located near TCU campus at 2858 West Berry Street. Remember, every day is a cheat day at Fat Shack.
Taylor's Rental at 817-332-5258 has everything you need for large and small equipment rental. Need a bulldozer? Call Taylor's Rental. Need a generator? Call Taylor's Rental. Need a jackhammer? Call Taylor's Rental. Need to dig a trench? Call Taylor's Rental. Need to till your garden? Call Taylor's Rental. Need to unstop your sink? Call Taylor's Rental. Need to clean your carpet? Call Taylor's Rental. Taylor's Rental at 817-332-5258, located at 220 University Drive, right here in Fort Worth, or online at trectx.net.
Brian Estridge alongside our friend Brian Happel, the Fort Worth Market CEO for BBVA. And Brian, to steal a football term, there have been a lot of, well, we call them forward fumbles during this time. We've adjusted, and we've come up with solutions that will benefit us for really years to come. How has BBVA done that?
We call people is find a way.
Yeah.
Find a way to be successful. But some other things that we've done as part of this process is that we have developed some additional technology that really allows our customers to continue to be able to do business as much as normal as possible. And so, for example, the bank launched a new mobile banking app or an enhancement to that app called Mobile 9.0, which really expanded the transaction detail screen for the mobile and online banking for folks. And so it gave them more detail, which is obviously something that they might have gotten through a more traditional way, either through their banker or some other means. And so more transparency of what was going on with their bank account was very critical for us. And so that came out during this period of time and really helped people to have a better experience and better access to their information.
That's Brian Happel, Fort Worth Market CEO for BBVA. Make the opportunities of this new era available to all. BBVA helps people make the best financial decisions to make the opportunities that present themselves in their lives real. BBVA, proud sponsor of the Gary Patterson Show.
Never completely ready to adopt a teen.
For late nights writing English papers.
For your teen's music taste.
For dinners where they talk more on their phone than with you.
For the first time, they call you mom.
You're never completely ready to adopt a teen, and you can't imagine the reward.
To learn more about adopting a teen, visit adoptuskids.org.
Brought to you by the U.S. Department of Health and Human Services, Adopt U.S. Kids, and the Ad Council.
Hey, so what's a great way to spread awareness that driving high is illegal everywhere? A catchy song, of course.
You can run, but you can't drive high. You can run, but you can't drive high.
Friendly reminder, don't drive high. If you feel different, you drive different. Brought to you by NHTSA and the Ad Council.
To buy your home, you became a house hunting ace, learned about loans, scoured neighborhoods, and asked the right questions. Now you're queen of your castle. If you manage that, you can get your retirement plan on track. Visiting aceyourretirement.org can help. With 401k tips and smart saving strategies, you'll feel empowered to own your retirement like you own your home. Go to aceyourretirement.org. Because when it comes to clearing financial hurdles, you're an ace. Brought to you by AARP and the Ad Council.
These are the sounds of a dinner that almost didn't happen. A dinner now served, thanks to people like you. Due to COVID-19, 17 million more Americans may face hunger. Feeding America is helping our neighbors in need. And if you're able, you can too. Donations are being accepted at feedingamerica.org/coronavirus. Brought to you by the Ad Council and Feeding America, 200 food banks strong.
It's time for Where Are They Now? Here's Brian Estridge.
Continue on the Gary Patterson Show. It is our Where Are They Now segment, and we like to talk to guys who have been successful on the field and off, and Andrew Ward is one of those. The former Frog linebacker, kind enough to carve out some time for us here tonight. Good to see your face, Andrew. Thanks for hopping on with us.
Thanks for having me, Brian.
All right, let's dive right into this. So I remember when the release came that, Andrew Ward's going to transfer from Colorado. He's a linebacker. He's coming to TCU. He'd come out of Shreveport Evangel. And I thought, wow, this is a huge get for TCU. It ended up being a great get for TCU and for Fort Worth. What led you to Fort Worth? Tell us how that all kind of transpired.
I hate saying this. Coming from Evangel, we had a big-time high school football program, and I loved TCU coming out of high school, but I honestly felt like I had offers from most places and could have gone about anywhere. As much as I like TCU, I can remember one of my coaches saying, TCU's never gonna play for a national championship. They're in the whatever conference we're in at the time. Sure. I think you're going from the WAC to Conference USA, and so I didn't seriously, as much as I liked it, and I always grew up. We had family in DFW and loved coming over here. I never thought I thought I could go play somewhere bigger, and I went to Colorado and. Enjoyed the football. It was big time football, but didn't really enjoy the culture in Boulder.
Yeah.
I think that's the nicest way I can put it. And when I was transferring, I knew I wanted to go to a smaller school. And I came down between Vanderbilt and TCU. And TCU had significantly better football. They had Coach P. They had incredible coaching staff. And like I said, loved the DFW area, and loved Fort Worth, and ended up being the greatest decision I ever made.
So give me some idea. Are there any takeaways from your time here at TCU that you still utilize to this day? I mean, you've been out a few years, but are there still some takeaways that Gary Patterson told you back then that still ring true for you?
Yeah, Coach Patterson used to say that he said a couple things. One of them was, when we were kind of in a grind, either during the season or during spring ball, and he would say, guys, if this were easy, everybody would do it.
Yeah.
And so I think about that a lot, just kind of in business. I'm actually working on a real big deal right now that is it's taking up a bunch of my time, and it's cumbersome, and it's irritating dealing with some of the people. But I think about, kind of the end goal, and I think to myself, if something that Coach B used to say, if it were easy, everybody would do it. Yeah. And the other thing I think about is he used to say this too. He said, guys, he goes, this is the hardest thing you're ever going to do is playing college football, because you're trying to balance, all the time you put in football, school, trying to have some sort of a social life. I mean, it is hard. And so, and he was right. I mean, I have 3 kids now, and I work and really enjoying life, but nothing I do is as hard as trying to do what we did there.
Give us some idea, too, as to what you're doing now, because I know you've been successful in business, but give folks an idea of what you do and kind of how you got there.
Sure. I was fortunate, TCU, great academics and great advisors, and I finished my undergrad pretty quick. Like, I finished my undergrad in about 3 years and was still playing ball, still had to go to school to be eligible. So I got a master's, but all my classes were at night. And just through connections that I'd made at TCU, a guy that I'm real close with today was kind of a mentor, a guy named Ryan Matthews, who was an older TCU guy, hired me as an intern at Staubach Company, which was Roger Staubach's real estate group. I interned there for 2 years when I was still playing ball at TCU. So I do work in the morning, I do football, kind of from noon on, and then I did class at night. And then they helped me catch on at Staubach over in Dallas, their headquarters. Staubach got bought by a global real estate group named Jones Lang LaSalle. So I ended up being over there for about 5 years, and then came back this way about 9 years ago. And I work for a family in Fort Worth that's well capitalized, and I handle all their real estate.
Well, and it has been successful. We know that. By the way, how's your golf game?
It's as good as it's ever been right now.
He says humbly.
Well, no, I mean, I can show you in the Get app. This week, or on the November 1st reset, I'm down to a 4.
Really?
Yeah, so I need to get Griffin out. I heard him talking about his game and see if I can get some money from him.
Yeah, so you're either playing a lot or you're just really efficient with your game right now.
I play a good amount. I joke, I spend my money recreationally on two things, and that's golf and TCU athletics.
I like it.
And that is it. And so I'm not real big on practicing. That's kind of a whip to me. But,
right.
I think, we're fortunate. We're doing a lot of golf trips, and I try to get a lesson about once a month, and I'll go out there during lunch, kind of from noon to 1, and meet our guy at Colonial and hit some balls with him. And but so, like I said, if I'm going to spend money on golf, I want to be good at it.
Well,
so,
if you're playing to a 4, you are good at it, Andrew Ward. I tell you what, you're good at a lot of things too. You're good at football. Proud of what you've done, both professionally there in the business world, but also as a husband and father. Thanks for coming on with us here tonight, man.
Hey, man, anytime. Thanks for having me.
All right, there he goes. Andrew Ward, former linebacker of the Horned Frogs. More to come, including our keys for a Frog victory over Texas Tech. We'll do that next after this timeout and a word from the Emergency Center.
When an emergency strikes, you shouldn't have to spend hours in an ER waiting room. At the Emergency Center, you'll be seen immediately, 24 hours a day, 7 days a week. Honoring most private insurances, the Emergency Center team is ready to provide you an unparalleled patient experience. And when it's time to leave the ER, they can give you up to 72 hours of medication so you can skip the pharmacy on your way home. Learn more at theemergencycenter.com.
We know as families and dreams grow, life's milestones have a way of sneaking up on you. With Bank of Texas, you'll be ready to live those moments to the fullest, knowing you have a strong plan for the future. It's our commitment to you. And at Bank of Texas, you'll work with experienced professionals who have the resources to get things done, while understanding where you come from and where you want to go. So let's make a plan together. Bank of Texas, proud supporter of the TCU Horned Frogs.
Orange Theory is a science-backed, technology-tracked, coach-inspired group workout. Our classes are designed to spike metabolism, boost energy, and burn up to 500 calories in 1 hour. We make it simple for you to push yourself, be your personal best, and give you more. More results, more confidence, more life. 33 DFW locations, including Montgomery Plaza, Southwest Fort Worth, Camp Bowie, North Arlington, and Arlington Highlands. Visit OrangeTheoryFitness.com to sign up for your free introduction class today. Restrictions may apply.
Hi, this is Jan. Thanks for calling Toyota.
I heard Toyotathon is on.
We've got great year-end deals on Camry, RAV4, Tundra, Highlander, and more. Do you hear that?
Yep, that's my mom. I'm home for the holidays, and she likes eavesdropping on my calls like she used to.
What was that again about year-end deals?
Mom.
Oh, I'm sorry, honey.
Toyotathon is on now. Come in today.
Current offers end November 30th. Toyotathon ends January 4th. Toyota. Let's go places.
Bring a game day party treat to your celebration from Cinnaholic Fort Worth. As seen on Shark Tank, enjoy these hot and fresh create-your-own cinnamon rolls by selecting from over 20 frostings and toppings. Try a signature roll such as the Horned Frog, the Stockyard, and Cookie Monster. Be the MVP of the party with Cinnaholic's custom 6-pack cinnamon rolls, brownies, and chocolate chip cookies. Order online or visit us on Crockett Row at West 7th. Mention the TCU game final score and receive a buy one, get one free old school roll. Cinnaholic Fort Worth. Game on!
It's back, the return of the prestigious Learfield IMG College Directors Cup, honoring college sports excellence across all competitive divisions, both men's and women's sports. Follow along with L Directors Cup on Twitter or online to see which schools will be taking home a first place trophy in June for their season-long success. Learfield IMG College Directors Cup, a premier institutional award jointly launched in 1993 by USA Today and NACDA.
Okay, kids, Dad's gonna teach you how to dance. First, spread your feet apart. Then, pump your knee, nod your head, shake your hips, and bite your lip ever so slightly. Now, with one hand in the air, point at people with the other hand. I call that the rock star.
Dance like a dad. It's a great way to make a moment with your kids.
Now, make a face like it just smells something bad.
Visit fatherhood.gov. Brought to you by the U.S. Department of Health and Human Services and the Ad Council.
Hey everybody, it's time for today's STEM tip. Want to know how to make your selfies even better? Okay, let's use science. The best time for photos is golden hour. That's the moment right before the sun sets, when the atmosphere scatters blue and violet wavelengths, making perfect, soft, and golden selfie light to show off that beautiful face of yours. Click. Check out Chic and STEM for more inspiration. A message from the Ad Council.
Jill, why don't you tell the class what you did this weekend?
Well, my dad and I went in search of some magical minnows and found a zillion of them in the stream from our lookout rock. Then my sister and I escaped from an evil slug king and went back to my super twig fort for safety. Then we told stories till it got dark, and the Big Dipper led us all the way home.
Where were you, Jill?
We went to the forest. It's not that far away.
Ask your parents to take you and your friends to the forest this week. It's closer than you think. Check out discovertheforest.org. Brought to you by the U.S. Forest Service and the Ad Council.
Papa, why can't we telegraph while riding a horse?
Son, there ain't no one to blame but Jeffro. He was riding old Betsy the Stallion, tip-tapping away at his telegraph, when blam! Ran right into the side of the saloon.
Well, if Jeffro can't do it, neither should you. Don't text and drive.
Visit StopTextStopWrecks.org. A message brought to you by the National Highway Traffic Safety Administration, Project Yellow Light, and the Ad Council.
Adopt US Kids presents What to Expect When You're Expecting a Teenager. Learning the lingo.
GOAT, G-O-A-T, acronym, stands for Greatest of All Time. As in, spaghetti sandwiches for dinner? They're my fave. Dad, you're the GOAT.
You don't have to speak teen to be a perfect parent. Thousands of teens in foster care will love you just the same. Visit adoptuskids.org. Brought to you by the U.S. Department of Health and Human Services, Adopt U.S. Kids, and the Ad Council.
Let's get to the keys to the game. Presented by Toyota. Here's Brian Estridge.
Gary Patterson Show continues, brought to us by our friends at UMB Bank, a 107-year-old diversified financial holding company offering complete banking services, payment solutions, asset servicing, and private wealth management. Their goal is to support businesses in the community by being an engaged and responsible partner. Visit them today, downtown Fort Worth. Landry Burdine joins us right now. Good to see your face, Landry. Thanks for hopping on here with us. We had Andrew Ward on earlier. Griffin Kelvin, a big lineup here tonight. Frogs turned their attention to Texas Tech. Let's dive right into some keys. I mean, it seems like the road team always has success in this series. What's up with that, Landry?
Well, it's just, it's like anytime TCU and Tech get together, Brian, it's going to be weird. Remember the Fox running around on the field?
Oh, that's right.
Yeah, the guys throwing water bottles. I mean, it's just the way it is. But you're right. The Frogs have to figure out a way to defend the Carter, and it really has flip-flopped almost annually on the button, and then it was 2-2 at one point going back 8 years ago. The series is 4-4, and both teams have 3 road wins in that time.
All right, let's dive into it. What do you think the Frogs have to do to be successful?
One of the matchups I'm going to be looking at this entire game is TCU's third down defense against Tech's third down offense. Texas Tech is converting about 45% of their third down tries on offense, and whereas TCU has the best third down defense in the Big 12. So that's a matchup I think Horned Frog fans need to keep an eye on. I tell you, Henry Colombi's in the game because he can run. And those quarterbacks that have given TCU fits over the years are the ones that are pretty mobile. And you can go back to some runs that Sam Ehlinger had and the big plays those guys had. So that's a big one for me, too. And, Brian, turnovers are better last week, but they're not where they need to be for this team. And so they've got to get more of those. All
right. It's going to be fun on Saturday. The Horned Frogs and the Texas Tech Red Raiders will be here for it starting at 1:30, kick at 2:30 for Kyle Cross back at the studio. Thanks to Landry Burdine and to our man Blake Jones. We'll see you Saturday. Go Frogs. I'm Brian Estridge here on the Horned Frogs Sports Network from Learfield IMG College.